It's very disheartening and upsetting to see something like this. For those who don't know, the Bop House did a collaboration with a 17-year-old girl, and some of the TikToks they made are very provocative. Now here's a video that they made, and the 17-year-old in this video is the one in the skin-tight black suit. Now can you honestly watch this and think to yourself, this is super PG and this has no way of being provocative? Of course you can't, because it's fucking insane. And here's another video off her account insinuating that she has joined the Bop House with the members behind her. Now let's get something very clear. The Bop House is not a clout house, and these are not Instagram models having fun. No, these are porn stars. The only reason this house exists is so that they could sell more of their pornography. That's it. And they're doing provocative content with a minor. The whole undertone of this situation is disgusting. They know what they're doing. That is a minor in a porn house posting these kinds of things with what looks like the full support of the people there who are adults. Now, I understand she turns 18 soon. I understand this isn't the same thing as having a 14-year-old there, but it doesn't matter. This is a child. These laws are set in place so you don't have people running around like Sneeko who believe this.
Maybe marry a 16-year-old. Nothing sexual.
I probably wouldn't personally. You know, I think there'd be too much of a gap. But other people, like, if they're able to get along, then I don't see why that's so much of a problem.
But why don't you see that as a problem?
When somebody reaches maturity, it's based off of biological and physical maturity. I went through puberty when I was 17. A lot of people went through puberty when they were 13, 14, 15. It changes for everybody. So for you to say that this is the set in stone age and say you're a pedophile if it's under 18, and then if you're over 18, you're fine. Well, then that's a weird line that doesn't make sense. So you're going to say this person.
But that is a ridiculous take. And this is why you have that minor to adult barrier that needs to be upheld and it needs to be very strict. But like I said, it's the undertone of these TikToks. They know what they're doing. And I'll give you an analogy. It's kind of like, imagine you get a really big YouTuber, right? Like Moist Critical or Ryan Trahan. And these guys decide to meet up with other streamers or YouTubers who are known racist and anti-Semitics. And the content they decide to film that day is a food challenge. And they get an American burger, food from a Jewish deli, and soul food. And they all collectively agree that the American burger is awesome. And they say about the soul food and the Jewish deli food that this is the worst food they've ever had in their entire life. Now, would Moist Critical or Ryan Trahan have been doing something explicitly racist? No, but the undertone is disgusting. And they knew exactly what they were doing by this. And that's exactly what's going on here. Now, a lot of people on the internet have the mentality of, oh, she's joining the Bop House when she turns 18. Oh, you're just jealous. Oh, I don't care. It's not a big deal. I really hope that these are children commenting this. Because as a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 15-year-old, you're dumb. You don't get it. And honestly, if I was around that 15, 16-year-old age, I probably would sit there and also think, you know what, this really isn't that big of a deal. She's going to be 18 soon. But as somebody who's an adult, I look at this and I see how fucked up this actually is. But I don't think the Bop House had any malicious intent here. I just don't think they thought very far ahead to see and understand the implications of how bad this situation is. And as much as I could sit here and shit on the Bop House, whoever this girl's parents are, shame on you. And also, you can't blame the girl Piper. A lot of people know who she is. She's making a lot of money from this. So I bet you she thinks, hey, why not? I'll sexualize myself a little bit. But like I said, this is a child. The difference between a 17-year-old and even a 19-year-old's brain is astronomical. So the Bop House should know better, and the parents should especially know better. But to two of the members, Joy Me and Alina Rose, they were not comfortable with this. So what they do is they make a TikTok, somebody comments, and then they do more of a full breakdown of what's going on and why they're not okay with it. So let's look at Joy Me's first. This was the original video, and then somebody commented, is it because of Piper? And then she made this video.
It is about Piper, because one thing about me is that I'm never gonna do anything associated with a minor. Like, it is ridiculous that the Bob House would even do that when there's so many other people you can collab with that is over age, because we all know what you guys do. So I just think it's fucking ridiculous, and I cannot tolerate that.
And she's exactly right. Like I said, evil undertone here. We all know what the Bop House does. We all know that this minor is sharing too much for social media. And you brought her to the house and enabled this. And honestly, I was going to make a joke about, women emotional, but I completely understand why she's crying. If I had business partners that were on board with something as outrageous as this, I would be furious. Now let's look at Alina Rose's response. She makes this video, which is the general thing, and then she responds to a comment that got 31,000 likes that says, "It's giving jealous." I hope that a minor commented this. I hope that all 31,000 people that liked it are minors, because then that's a valid excuse. It's like, okay, you don't really get what's happening here, but I know it's not. And that is really disheartening. But let's look at her response.
Okay, first of all, I am not jealous. I am also part of the Bob House, and I was allowed to go that day, and I just didn't want to because I don't want to be associated with the minor. And I do understand that, like, me and the girls did collab with Ash Trevino's daughters, but that situation was way different.
And that's a good thing there. They did collaborate with Ash Trevino's daughters, but let's look at the difference. They're dressed appropriately. It's PG. Ash Trevino's a known crazy person, so they did it to cheer them up. So she's right. It is completely different.
Like, we were doing, like, PG TikToks. Like, it wasn't even anything crazy. It was like the most like innocent TikToks we did with them, and because we felt bad for them because their mom is fucking crazy. And also the TikToks they're doing with Piper is a little bit fucking crazy. Like, I did not participate in those kind of TikToks with Ash Trevino's daughters.
I want to cut back to something she said right there.
The TikToks they're doing with Piper is a little bit fucking crazy.
Then you have another member who I guess was in the house at the time come out and post this.
Is she officially in the Bob House? So no, Piper is not a part of the Bob House. All we did was make TikToks, nothing crazy.
Is a little bit fucking crazy.
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Is a little bit fucking crazy.
No, that's crazy. Because like I said, it's the undertone. It's the insinuation. It's sickening. And the unfortunate part about it is they're not getting that much backlash. I think it partially has to do with them being women. Now, I want you to imagine that the roles were reversed. If you had a bunch of male OnlyFans models and you brought a minor into that house, do you know how big of a story that would be? You know how fast everybody would get canceled? But I think because they're women, they get the pass. Even though this is a very sick thing. Stuff like this needs to be taken more seriously. The protection of boys and girls and minors need to be taken very seriously. So in conclusion, good on Alina, good on Joy, good fucking job for sticking up for what's right. The other chicks, you gotta do better. You gotta start thinking. And absolute shame on the parents of this child. That's it for me. Have a great day.